Friends, if you develop this sort of a technique, you will feel your brain kick in. Your heart and your breath will slow down. Your emotions will begin supporting you rather than driving you to overreact or to shut down, and your perspective will return. When my first wife was alive, we lived through 16 years of her cancer occurrences, and there were 19 of them during that time. That meant scores and scores of doctor appointments, anything from radiation to a blood draw to chemotherapy to surgical consults, let alone the years that she spent in the hospital. Over and over again, we had to compartmentalize things in our life in order to face the ongoing crisis that just kept coming. Now, this is an experience that many people have, and theirs can be far worse than what we faced. Think about this: war, famine, natural disasters, human-caused disasters, the loss of one's livelihood, the inability to return to your home and sleep there and feel safe. These kinds of crises face many people, and it leads them to also have to compartmentalize, setting aside their emotions, not thinking about their long-term plans, maybe becoming unaware of their body. Their life experiences that formed their character are all kind of out the window. They stop working together in order to take care of what needs to be addressed right now in order to survive, in order to live through the night and maybe see tomorrow. In these moments, you deal with lesser matters later. That's the very definition of compartmentalizing in order to triage and face into the crisis and take care of the most important things. Now, you and I need this skill of compartmentalization, especially when there is a crisis in front of us. But we can't stay stuck there. Neuroscientists tell us that our brains are hardwired to scan for threat first, before they can move toward reflection. Well, you put people in a group who are scanning for threat and think there's a threat and are unaware of what's going on because they're compartmentalized, and the ability for that entire group to work toward a common understanding will stall. This is the kind of work that Migro and its droplets helps us to work through so we can have deeper understanding and become more aware and work more quickly toward integrating ourselves yet again, where our emotions and our intellect and awareness of our body and our present circumstance come back together and start working together again. I'd like to tell you about a technique that I use, and I use many times with my clients. It's to ask myself, what do I want? What am I feeling? And what do I think? And making sure that I've got proper answers for these questions before I proceed. It helps me reintegrate myself. Rather than me telling you more about this technique, I'd like one of my executive advising clients, a first-rate executive advisor himself, to tell you about it.
When you're thrown off your game because something happens, it's really easy to allow doubt or worry to creep in. Today I was thrown off my game, and there was someone that asked me 3 powerful questions. What do I want? How do I feel? And what do I think? Gave me a minute or two to write it down, and then allowed me to process it with them. That action of self-reflection can bring you back into alignment. If you've been thrown off your game today, and you got 5 minutes, pull out a journal, write down, what did you want? How do you feel? And what do you think about that topic? If you got that coach, you got that trusted friend or advisor in your life, call them. Say, I need you to listen. Don't allow getting thrown off your game to get in the way of who you are and who you want to be and what you got to do today.
Friends, if you develop this sort of a technique, you will feel your brain kick in. Your heart and your breath will slow down. Your emotions will begin supporting you rather than driving you to overreact or to shut down. And your perspective will return. You will return to yourself, your whole self, and you can keep growing.